Hey everybody, welcome to the video. Today I want to talk to you about three things. You could see them up there. I want to talk to you about some observations I've made about the channel over the couple of weeks that we've been going here. I want to tell you about some changes that are going to be coming. They're nothing crazy, just a few small tweaks here and there. And then I've got some opportunities for you to give feedback on specific things that I want to know about. Now, that being said, everything we talk about in today's video, I would love to have your feedback on it. So please, if I say something and you're like, you know what, I don't agree with that, or yes, I do, or here's an idea, please feel free to put that stuff in the comments section below. These type of videos are going to heavily influence everything I do with the channel. So if there's any time to post a comment or anything, it's here. So first we're going to talk about some observations. I am kind of reusing the presentation from the debut stream, not all of it, but some of the slides just to keep things organized here. And I don't plan on going in depth talking about all the things, you know, the reasons why and how and everything. If you want information about what's actually on the slide, you can go back and check out the debut stream if you haven't done that. Otherwise, this is mainly just kind of serving as a visual bullet list for me to touch on each of these different topics. So let's go ahead and get started. So, conversation and community, building the channel based on relationships, not specific games or topics. So I feel like this has been kind of a mixed bag so far. There's been some aspects that have been going pretty well on the channel and some that have not so far. And we'll talk about those more in depth individually as we get to them. So, wanting my channel to feel like going to a friend's house and hang out when you visit, I feel like I've been doing pretty well at this. With the live streams, I've been focused on trying to respond to chat as soon as possible right away, not have a lot of delays of me playing the game and then checking in with chat periodically, but just constantly checking on chat and responding, so that really the live stream itself is just the vehicle that we're using to hang out, but doing those live streams is more of the hangout itself. So I think I've been doing pretty well on this, and I hope it's something that I can continue to improve on as time goes on. The channel tenets here, no ads, that's a pretty easy one. There hasn't been any ads, we're good. The no limits, that seems fine as well. If we get into the no analytics, so this is one that, it's just kind of like a curiosity piece, I think, for most of you that are watching. So there's a couple of things here. Like, one, it's almost impossible for me to not see the sub number on YouTube. When I switch accounts on YouTube, it tells me how many subs that account has when I'm switching. When I go to YouTube Studio to edit a video or schedule a live stream or anything like that, the sub number is right there. It's big, huge, in your face on the front page. And in order to get around that, I'd have to circumvent all that stuff. So the sub number is really hard not to pay attention to. You know, you just glance and you can go, oh, did it go up? Did it go down? Is it the same? So it's been hard to ignore the sub number. That said, we are sitting at around 70 subs. I think 30 more subs to go, and I can customize the URL on the channel. That's cool. And even though the sub number is there and I can see it, it doesn't weigh too heavily on me, so I don't feel too bad about it being there. It is just kind of annoying that I can't get away from it. The other thing that is right in my face all the time is viewer count on live streams. So both on YouTube and on the streaming software that I use, where the chat is, which I want to see and want to pay attention to, they have a viewer count counter. And so it's really hard not to be influenced by that to some degree, especially when a stream first starts and maybe in the first 30 minutes or something, there's 0 viewers. It's really hard not to look at that and go, oh, I'm streaming to no one. So those have been the two analytics that I feel like I haven't been able to quite avoid. I'm interested to see what happens when Altair comes out, because right now, like I said, I don't think the sub count really affects me all that much, but the viewer count on the live streams plays an active role in, I guess, I don't know how into it I am or whatever. Like, it's really hard to get over that little psychological bump there. So we'll see. I think Altair is going to have the option to not see how many viewers there are, so it doesn't matter anyway. But those have been the two sort of stats that have mattered, or that I can't get away from. The likes on the videos, I've got those turned off on the actual videos themselves where there's no number. You can still like or dislike, but it doesn't show the number. And as long as I don't go in and look for the amount of likes and dislikes, I don't really see them. Same thing with channel views. Those are kind of hard to avoid, but I've also already said like, hey, I'm pretty okay with views not being, in the hundreds or thousands or whatever. Although, speaking on the aspect of views, that's an area where I'm going to want some feedback, and hopefully I remember to talk about that later in the video. If not, then I'll try to post it below. So what about Altair? You may have seen the post that I put up on Ko-fi, but you probably didn't. And in that post, basically I got to reserve my username on Altair. I did pick Setsuko. I'm not sure if I can change it to iamtheschy or if I can be Setsuko and my channel can be iamtheschy or what. I'll have to figure that out, but I figured it'd be best to just opt for my gamer tag initially and then go from there. So right now I do have Setsuko reserved on Altair, and hopefully everything is still looking good for them to do a launch for Visionaries in November. And if that's the case, I really do want to try a push to move over there for streaming and basically do highlights and stuff here on the channel, plus actual videos here on the channel. But we'll see how it goes. We'll have to see what Altair offers at the time. Live streams. So live streams have obviously been a little bit weird. I had family visiting this past week, so the live stream schedule was kind of all over the place. But prior to that, I stuck to the live stream schedule. The Thursday stream didn't seem to go very well, but the Saturday stream seemed okay. And I just did a stream this past Friday that was really good. So it's been kind of all over the place, but it's a little too early to judge whether or not the live streams are succeeding or not in terms of viewers and engagement and all that stuff, because we really haven't done them for all that long. In one of those weeks that we did them in, like I said, I had family visiting and had to go off schedule for that. I am still sticking to the Sunday, Thursday, Saturday right now. If you didn't catch the memo, Sunday and Thursday both start at 6 p.m. now. Saturday is still a morning stream that kicks off, I think, at 7 or 7:30, somewhere in there. So those are still going for as long as I'm on this particular shift. So yeah, live streams seem to be doing pretty good. And I would say overall, I feel like the engagement with the live streams has been pretty good. It takes a little bit for them to get rolling when I initially start, but once they do, we do have some people that consistently show up and talk and chat and watch and all that stuff. And like I said, I've been trying to be more actively engaged in quickly responding to chat and keeping the conversation flowing. So hopefully between all that stuff, the live streams are just going to get better and better. So I wanted to talk about the game tags and how those have been working and what I felt about them. So the ease of access, this has been something interesting that I kind of wanted to touch on and talk about. So first off, I wanted to incorporate the Humble Bundle, but I think I'm just going to cut that out completely. I also think that in general, it's going to be better for me to focus on free-to-play games and Games Pass games as the main things that I cover here on the channel, with the exception of a couple of regularly played premium games. Mainly Final Fantasy XIV is what I'm talking about here, just for the simple sake of, like, it's easier on my wallet, and it's also the expectations for you guys is a lot easier. You can know, hey, if I've got the Games Pass and I've got my FF14 subscription, I'm basically going to be able to play anything that Set showcases here on the channel. And that's another area that I think I want to get some feedback from you guys from, is whether or not, what types of games you want coverage for. We're going to get to that a little bit later in the feedback section. But mainly, I think that these cost sort of ease of access tags they're fine, right? This is more of a thing of, does it help you? It doesn't really, matter to me too much. Participation options. I have had some play together stuff that's been up, but I haven't seen anyone voice any interest in playing with me on the play together games. I also haven't really made a push for that either. I think it's a little too early to worry about whether or not the participation tags are helping or working, or what the level of engagement is for those. So I'm not too worried about that. Now, that being said, the viewing experience tags actually are helping me a lot. I intended them to be something that helps you judge whether or not you're interested in watching a particular game based on what sorts of content are there. And originally I kind of put this down as like, hey, if you really don't want to watch me watch cutscenes and read dialogue and stuff, you can skip the cinematic stuff. That's really kind of where it came from. But honestly, having these tags has helped me as well, because I know this live stream or this video is clearly labeled as cinematic or strategic or adventure. And so the people watching this should have their expectations set on what this stream is going to be like. And so when I was playing Final Fantasy XIV and I had it with the cinematic tag in there, I wasn't subconscious while streaming about the amount of cutscenes and dialogue and stuff, because I knew, like, hey, I've already said this is cinematic. This is what this is going to be like. And this actually really lowered a lot of the like sort of subliminal anxiety that I sometimes get in those situations where I'm just sort of playing a game and I'm not really talking a whole lot, because there are a lot of cutscenes and dialogue and I want to watch them and be engaged. So these have been really helpful to me, actually, and I think these have been great. Now, as far as whether or not they're helping you guys, I don't really know unless you tell me. But I'm definitely going to keep using the viewing experience tag regardless going forward, because, like I said, I just think it's a really good thing. For me, on like a psychological level, it works out really well. So Ko-fi, this is the area I think I have been the most disappointed in so far. Basically, I thought, hey, September being free for everyone, people would hopefully jump in, check things out. And I totally get if you're not interested in like funding the channel or giving any money to the channel or anything like that. But I was really hoping that, having September be free would at least get people to check it out and leave some comments, leave some likes or whatever, provide some feedback, but it's basically been non-existent. Big shout out to Cass for being active over on Ko-fi. I really appreciate that. But basically that's been it. It's been me and Cass over there, talking about memes, and I've been posting updates and blogs and, all that kind of stuff. And there's been like zero engagement. So the way I see it, either nobody gives a fuck about this and I'm wasting my time. I've got the wrong stuff up there, the wrong motivation. People might be interested, but they just don't have the time. I really need to hear from you guys. Like, why aren't you engaging in Ko-fi? Is it because of the $3 you might have to spend come October? Is it because the stuff that I said was going to be over there wasn't interesting? Is it because you just don't do this, or you don't care? Like, what's the reason? Because I don't want to waste my time on it if people aren't interested. And what I've seen so far is people aren't interested at all. Nobody's gone to check it out, with the exception of, like I said, Cass, and also shout out to Lost Soul for being the first founder over there on Ko-fi. Definitely appreciate that. Cass and Lost Soul are kind of my ride or die buddies, so I definitely appreciate them. But I haven't seen anyone else engage in any way over there. So that's one of those things where I said my metric for whether or not something is working is going to be engagement. And the engagement there has been like outside of me and Cass. So please let me know, what's the deal? Like, just honestly, what's the deal? Is it the $3? Is it, what is it? What is it? Let me know. So rolling kind of into that, I wanted to touch on the membership perks here and kind of let you know there's a couple changes coming to the membership perks. So first off, the daily meme, with the amount of engagement we've gotten on Ko-fi, it's not worth doing a meme every day. It's not worth uploading a meme every day if it's just Cass and myself going like or something like that. I still want to post memes, but I might drop it down to like a weekly meme or a meme on Sunday and Wednesday, or like just not every day. Private streams, I do have the first one planned for October, but I want to get feedback on it. I was going to do like I said, niche behind the scenes content. I'm shaving my head in October. So I was going to do a private live stream of just me shaving all my hair off in October. Just a fun thing. If it's too weird, let me know, Like I said, I'm just coming up with ideas and see what people like and what people don't like. The weekly podcast, I put out the first episode this past week. The second episode is going to be out pretty soon this week. Thought it went great. I enjoyed making it so much that I'm actually removing the podcast as a Ko-fi specific perk and making the podcast available to everyone. And then there'll be some opportunities to engage in the podcast for members. But the podcast itself is going to be available free to everybody. It's available on Spotify. You can check out the first episode right now. Just search for I Am the Sky on Spotify. If you don't have Spotify, there is a post both in Discord and on Ko-fi with a link to a different place where you can listen to the podcast for free without having Spotify. So super stoked about the podcast. Right now, it's mainly just gaming news. I kind of do little snippets of the gaming news from the past week, talk about them, give my little opinion or, whatever that I have to say about them, and then move on to the next one. And I really enjoyed doing it. Exclusive playlist. I really wanted to get some feedback about this one and ask you guys like how many tracks you think are suitable for a monthly playlist for members. Right now, I'm thinking probably 5 songs, just the easy 5-song playlist, something I could put together, throw up there for you guys, and you can check out a couple of songs. I think 5 gives me more opportunity to kind of talk about them if I want to talk about them. Whereas doing something like 10 songs or whatever, at that point, it's like, I'm just going to, put the songs on there and then throw them at you guys. Whereas if I do the 5 songs, then once a month, I could pick 5 songs. I could post the playlist and then give like a little blurb about each one, like, 2-3 sentences talking about the song and, what I like about it or whatever. So, that's going to be coming. It might be October when that comes. I don't know if I'm doing one in September. Right now, like I said, the engagement on Ko-fi has been so low that it's hard to get motivated to do this kind of stuff at this point. But we'll see. The weird stuff, that's kind of like the shaving head video. That's a little weird, but, and the opportunity to influence the channel, we already had one of those. I was replacing a game for a live stream, and I asked the Ko-fi community what they wanted. And I got one response, and I went with the one response and used it to pick out the game that was going to be replacing the one that I was not picking up. So, like I said, mainly the meme's going to change here. The podcast is changing a little bit. Playlist is coming. I just wanted to get a feel for how many tracks were in there. So overall, the membership perks are kind of staying the same. And then jumping over here to the membership tier, based on the amount of interactivity and engagement I've seen, I'm probably just going to cut out the star level membership completely. I'm going to make the baseline $3, access to everything, and then the Pathfinder and Founder slots are going to stay, and those are going to be the slots that have the opportunity to heavily influence what the channel does. So that's kind of the way I'm going at the moment. I will also say this much. I'm going to be changing the Ko-fi funding goal to a number that covers what I actually need to cover for the channel. So this is going to be like the Games Pass, Ko-fi Gold, Canva subscription. I'm going to kind of go over everything that the goal will cover and break it down for you guys so you can see exactly where the money goes, and then change the goal to that, with the intention being anything we get over that goal then becomes extra money that we can do stuff with the channel here. The way I have it now is more like the goal covers everything and then covers an additional extra so we can do more stuff on the channel, and then anything over that is extra. But I'm going to change it just more so because I want to show you guys exactly like, hey, if we hit this number, it really helps me a lot because, I don't have to worry about this subscription. They're covered. You guys are helping me out with that. Whatever's going on with my finances for the month, we can still do everything on the channel because you guys are helping to cover the cost and fund it. And that is where that money goes when I get it. And then just to show that, anything over that is extra. That way you guys can see like, oh, hey, it was X amount of dollars and we had Y left over. So what are we doing with that Y? And then I can break it down and go, hey guys, last month we had this amount of money left over. Here's what we're going to do with it. And just be really transparent about where the money's going. So the game queue. This is one that I kind of wanted some feedback on. So let's touch on a couple of these games. So Final Fantasy 14 is absolutely staying. The amount of content that we have for Final Fantasy is really just going to ramp up and just continue to grow and become more and more consistent and more prevalent on the channel as we move towards Endwalker. And after Endwalker, we just had the producer live letter that went over all the class and job changes for Endwalker, which is basically the content that I was waiting on to start really looking at making job guides and stuff like that. So I fully intend to make guides for the different jobs in Final Fantasy 14, but as we have a new expansion approaching, some of them are getting pretty significant overhauls. Some of them they're all getting new abilities. Some of them are getting minor tweaks here and there. Numbers are going to change, all that kind of stuff. So it didn't seem to make sense to go ahead and make, 20 whatever guides now and then just have to redo them in Endwalker or post an update video. But once Endwalker is here, those guides are definitely going to be coming. There's pretty exciting stuff that they showed in the live letter, but overall it's mainly just building upon what already exists in like 90% of the classes. And Genshin Impact, this is going to be kind of the go-to free-to-play chill adventure game. Let's hang out. This may be like the Saturday morning or the Thursday night sort of game where it's just super chill, super laid back. We just hang out and chat while, I run around and do dailies and weeklies and, all that kind of stuff. We'll see how this one grows. I'm still interested to see what the reception is. I think it's been okay. The most well-received game on the channel so far is Final Fantasy 14 for reasons I think are super obvious. I mean, most of you guys are coming from my old channel where basically what I did was MMOs, and this is an MMO, so it makes sense. But Genshin has done okay. Sea of Thieves is still going to be the sort of Game Pass let's play together game that's going to be prevalent here on the channel. It's just a matter of getting that together because this is one I definitely want to play with people. So it's kind of like, getting a D&D group together. Everybody's times have to line up and everything like that. But there's a pretty good chance that this is going to be one that gets an extra stream or something during the month whenever we can plan it and schedule it. So this is one that I'll be trying to get people together for and probably have like a sign-up sheet for, put up a couple of times and see when I can get enough people to play. All right, moving on to events. The Fall 2021 Anime Season Preview is going to be next weekend. It's probably going to be next Sunday, I'm guessing, which would be the 26th of September. And we'll get rolling on that. And I still am not sure if we're going to do it in Discord or do it on YouTube. We'll probably end up doing it on Discord, though, just because I don't have to worry about copyright issues with showcasing trailers and stuff like that. I will have the information for this up for sure before the end of the week, before Friday. So that is coming up here pretty soon. The Hollow stream has some updates. So they announced the release date for early access for Darkest Dungeon 2. And that is going to be the main game that I'm going to be playing on the Hollow stream. And as we move forward into October, I will post some more opportunities for you guys to suggest games or movies or creepy videos or whatever to watch and to react to. This is going to be on Sunday, October 31st. I'm assuming that the trick-or-treating will be done on Friday or Saturday before then. So I'm assuming that Sunday is going to be a safe day to do this stream. Most likely, the stream will start earlier than 6 p.m. because it is more of like a marathon stream that will be, 6-7 hours long. And then we have the Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker launch party. So this is going to be whenever I have my time off from work. It won't be the actual day of launch. I'll be streaming launch week for sure, so you guys will be able to tune into that if you want to. But the actual launch party itself is going to involve some giveaways and hopefully some group play and all that kind of good stuff. And we'll be scheduling that. Also, somewhere around that time, Aggie and I are going to do a in-game Final Fantasy XIV wedding. So anybody who wants to attend that will be able to do so. And by attending the wedding, like, it's a cool ceremony. And you also get some exclusive items and stuff for attending it. And we can invite a lot of people, more people than I think we'll ever possibly get. So everybody will be able to come to that event as well. So it's kind of like a double event. We're going to have the Endwalker launch party, and we're going to have the in-game wedding for Aggie and myself. And then last, I want to get your feedback on these season rewards. These are coming up starting in October. Really, all I want to know from you guys is, how do I put this? Do you think that the season, the reaction reward, do you think like, hey, that's really cool, I think I'd want to do that. Hey, that's really cool, but I just wouldn't buy it because, Or, hey, that's really stupid, I have no interest in that. So that's kind of what I want to gauge, because if, like, the reaction rewards, if everybody's like, that's stupid, like, then I can just get rid of it, right? Because, again, I just put these up there as things that I thought might be cool. And if it's a matter of like, I think it's a cool idea, but I personally can't afford it, or I think the price is a little too high or whatever, then I could possibly make some adjustments. It depends. For like the t-shirt and the disc plate, some of that, it covers the cost of the thing. So the adjustments I can make are a little more limited. But let me know between the reaction rewards, the t-shirt rewards, and the disc plate supporter rewards, which things you think are actually cool and, not just lame. And that's basically what I have in this video. Like I said, observation, changes, and feedback. I wanted to give all this to you guys because I'm at a point where I've made my observations. I've made the changes, or am going to be implementing the changes that I think are going to keep the channel headed in the right direction. And I'm looking for feedback on some specific stuff. So like I said, this is the channel where, it's about engagement. It's about conversation, discussion, community. And I need your voices in order to make informed decisions over here, because I don't really consider this to be my channel. It's our channel. And so this is your opportunity to have your say and to be a part of the channel as well. So I know that may have been a lot, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think of this video. If you like these kinds of videos and you want to continue to see more of these in the future. Well, normally I'm going to do these when I get to the point that I'm like, okay, here's everything I have. Let's see what everybody else has to say. Let's make the decisions going forward. So it wouldn't be like necessarily every 2 weeks or anything like that. It'll be kind of sporadic depending on when I hit that point where I feel like I've collected enough data to make some educated guesses or some predictions. And, I'm looking to communicate that and to also get feedback about it. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Appreciate it. I will see you on the next live stream, which should be Thursday. If I don't do one on Tuesday, like a bonus one on Tuesday, should be Thursday at 6 p.m. And you should hear from me on the I Am This Guy podcast before then. All right, you guys. Peace.